It was long time ago. I was a young and bright, bold and idealistic. I was in the final year of my master course in computer science at the Indian Institute of Science IISC in Bangalore, then known as the Tata Institute. It was probably the April of 1974. Bangalore was getting warm and red gulmogas were blooming in IISC campus. I was the only girl in my postgraduate department and was staying at the ladies' hostel. I was looking forward to going abroad to complete a doctorate in computer science. I had not thought of taking up a job in India. One day, while on the way to my hostel from my lecture hall complex, I saw an advertisement on the notice board. I was a standard job recruitment notice from the famous automobile company Telco, now Tata Motors. I stated that the company required young, bright engineer, hardworking and with an excellent academic background. At the bottom was a small line, lady candidates need not apply. I read it and was very upset. For the first time in my life, I was upset gender discrimination. Though I was not keen on taking up a job, I saw this as a challenge. I had gone extremely well in academic, better than most of my male peers. Little did I know then that in real life academic excellence is not enough to be successful. After reading the notice, I went fuming to her room. I decided to inform the topmost person in Telco's management about the injustice the company was perpetrating. I got a postcard and started to write, but there was a problem. I did not know who headed Telco. I knew JRT Tata was head of the Tata group. I had seen his picture in newspaper. Actually, Sumat Mul- Mulgakar was the company's chairperson then. I took the card addressed to JRT and started writing. To this day, I remember clearly what I wrote. The great Tata have always been pioneer. They are the people who started the basic infrastructure industries in India, such as iron and steel, chemicals, textiles, and locomotives. They have coded for higher education in India since 1900s, and they were responsible for the establishment of the Indian Institute of Science. Fortunately, I studied there, but I'm surprised how a company such a telco is discriminating on the basis of gender. I posted the letter and forget about it. Less than 10 days later, I received a telegram stating that I had to appear for an interview at Telco's Pune facility at the company's expense. I was taken aback by telegram. My hostelites told me I should use the opportunity to go to Pune free of cost and buy them a famous Pune sari for cheap. I collected 30 rupees each from everyone who wanted a sari. When I look back, I feel like laughing at the reason for my going. But back then, they seemed good enough to make the trip. It was my first visit to Pune, and I immediately fell in love with the city. As director, I went to Telco's Pimpri office for the interview. There were 6 people on the panel, and I realized that this was serious business. This is a girl who wrote to GRD. I heard somebody whisper as soon as I entered the room. By then, I know for sure that I could not get the job. Then, realization abolished all my fears from my mind. So, I was rather cool while the interview was being conducted. Even before the interview started, I reckoned the panel was biased. So, I told them rather impolitely, I hope this is only a technical interview. They were taken aback my rudeness, and even today I am ashamed of my attitude. The panel asked me technical questions and I answered all of them. Then an elderly gentleman with an affectionate voice told me, do you know why we said lady candidates need not apply? The reason is that we have never employed any ladies on the shop floor. This is not a quiet college, this is a factory. When it comes to academics, you are the first ranker throughout. We appreciate that. But people like you should work in research laboratories. I was a young girl from a small town, Hubli. I did not know the ways of a large corporate house and their difficulties. So I answered, but you must start somewhere, otherwise, no woman will ever be able to work in your factories. Finally, after a long interview, I was told I had been successful. I was only after joining Telco that I realized who JRD was, the uncrowned king of Indian industry. Now I was scared, but I did not get to meet him till I was transferred to Bombay. One day I had to show some reports to Mr. Mulgakar, our chairperson, who we all know as SM. I was in an office on the first floor of Bombay House, the Tata headquarters, when suddenly JRD walked in. I feel very nervous, remembering my postcard episode. SM introduced me nicely, J. That's what his close associative called him. This young woman is an engineer and that too a postgraduate. She is the first woman to work on Telco's shop floor. JRD looked at me. I was praying he could not ask me any question about my interview or the postcard that preceded it. Thankfully, he didn't. Instead, he remarked, it was nice that girls were getting into engineering in our country. By the way, what's your name? When I joined Telco, I was Sudha Kulkarni, sir. I replied, now I'm Sudha Murthy. He smiled that kindly smile and started a discussion with SM. As for me, I almost ran out of the room. One day I was waiting for Murthy, my husband, to pick me up after office hours. To my surprise, I saw JRD standing next to me. I did not know how to react, yet again I started worrying about that postcard. Looking back, I realized JRD had forgotten about it. Young lady, why are you here? He asked. Office time is over. I said, sir, I'm waiting for my husband to come and pick me up. JRD said, it is getting dark and there is no one in the corridor. I will wait with you till your husband comes. I was quite used to wait for Murthy, but having JRD waiting alongside made me extremely uncomfortable. I was nervous. Out of corner of my eye, I looked at him. There wasn't any air of superiority about him. I was thinking, look at this person. He is a chairman, a well respected man in our country. He is waiting for the shake of an ordinary employee. Then I saw Murthy and rushed out. JRD called and said, young lady, tell your husband never to make his wife wait again. In 1982, I had to resign from my job at Telco. I was reluctant to go, but I really did not have a choice. I was coming down to the step of a Bombay house after wrapping up all final settlement when I saw JRD coming up. I wanted to say goodbye to him. So I started. I saw me. Uh, he saw me and passed gently. He said, "So what are you doing, Mrs. Kulkarni?" That's the way he always addressed me. Sir, I'm leaving Telco. Where are you going? He asked. Pune, sir. My husband is starting a company after called Infosys, and I'm shifting to Pune. Oh, and what will you do when you are successful? Sir, I don't know whether he will be successful. Never start with diffidence, he advised me. Always start with confidence. When you are successful, you must give back to society. Society give us so much. We must reciprocate. I wish you all the best. Then JRD continued walking up the stairs. I stood there for what seemed like a millennium. That was the last time I saw him alive. I consider JRD a great man because despite being an extremely busy person, he valued one postcard written by a young girl seeking justice. He respected the intention of that unknown girl who had neither influence nor money and gave her an opportunity in his company. He did not merely give her a job, he changed her life and mindset forever. Close to 50% of students in today's engineering college as girls, and there are women on the shop floor in many industry segments. I see these changes and think of JRT.